Welcome to Highland News Now. I'm Miranda Gakey.
And I'm Jenna Skarlupka. Starting off with what you may have missed from last week, Club Day was held on Tuesday the 26th in the cafeteria. The clubs had booths set up to answer questions, and there were also plenty of games to play. They even had a cotton candy machine. Here's to hoping that all the students who went found what they were looking for. If you didn't go, get involved with all there is to do at Highland.
Highland's Big Band performed on Wednesday, February 20th at 7:30 p.m. The band was accompanied by Tony Scobwell, a professional trumpet player. He is an alumnus of Tonight Show Band and the band of Stan Keaton.
Following the performance, the 50th Annual District Juried Art Exhibit opened on Thursday, February 21st. This exhibit can be viewed until March 6th. The exhibit not only features students from Highland, but also some local artists. The exhibit is free, so go check it out in Building F.
Attention Highland students, just wanted to bring you another update that summer registration is opened. Don't wait forever to sign up.
Lady Valor was shown in room N107 on February 26th at 2 p.m. The film showing was held by the HTC Diversity Committee and the Pride Club. This documentary film looked at former Navy SEAL Christopher Beck while embarking on a new mission as Kristen Beck.
Also last week, a lot of groups held fundraisers to further their funds of their programs. On Sunday, February 24th, the men's basketball team held fundraiser at Beltline. Then on Monday, the softball team became the waitresses of Logan's for the night of February 25th. And finally, the speech team held a fundraiser with a goal of $2,000. They currently sit at a total of $1,414. The site has a video of the team and information explaining how this money can help. We're hoping you all went out to help your fellow Highland classmates and contribute to the many different wonderful causes.
Also, the last Write It Out workshop was held on Thursday, February 28th at 1 p.m. at Highland's Clarence Mitchell Library. Write It Out was a 90-minute workshop to help writers let out what they are feeling and show some creativity. This was for writers of all levels.
Last week, Highland's Theater Department brought to the campus United as One, directed by Robert Walker. The show contained singing, dancing, and acting. The performers really got the crowd's attention and had them clapping along with the rhythm. Full of history and emotion, the show was one to behold.
Robert Walker, a freshman at Highland Community College, is very active in the theater program. Robert is actually the writer, producer, and director of United as One, which actually was performed here in the Fine Arts Building.
Actually, this is my first time directing my own show. I have been in several shows since 8th grade, with Ms. Baker introducing me into the Black History portion is why I did it this month, but I've been in shows like Showtime, Guys and Dolls, The Little Mermaid, and different schools in my high school, or different shows at my high school.
Robert's interest for theater has grown over the years. He describes how his interest first started when he was in junior high.
My 8th grade AVID teacher, she was more of like, she was a big supporter, and she was just always pushing me to do theater and like try something new. So I decided to audition for her show, and I got in, and it was a great show. And it's just, I felt like I can do that one day too. And so I finally got the opportunity to write a show and then produce it to Laura Early, the director, and she was in love with it, and it went from there.
While theater is fun and inspiring, Robert explains that producing plays and musicals takes a lot of time.
Actually, I've been writing a show since junior year of high school. I just always was putting different pieces and was like, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then I finally combined them all together and was like, okay, I need to propose this, so I need to have a finalized script. So I started picking the most important things that stood out to me, such as like the 16th Street Baptist with the 4 girls that got bombed in the church, and the Rosa Parks scenes, and women's empowerment movement and the civil rights movement. I started picking out the important topics, and I all put them together. And so I will say the production part took me 4 months.
Not only does Robert enjoy working in theater, but he also is studying in the medical field.
I will say learning pre-med, the stuff that's in pre-med, is totally different from theater. They're not combining and at all, and it's kind of getting a little difficult, and it's also stressful with producing the show and trying to maintain education aspect as well, because they don't combine, and so that's the hardest part and the challenge that I will have to face.
Even though it will be challenging working in both theater and the medical field, Robert is confident in his abilities and plans to keep both aspects a part of his life in the future.
After Highland, I plan to transfer to a university. I don't know which one yet, but there's one out there. I'm going to pick the best one for me. I'm going to continue to study a pre-med track. I'm going to also continue to do theater. Maybe one day I'll be producing a billion-dollar show or something like that, and also being a doctor as well. I believe that I can do both, so I'm going to.
Now that we've talked about what's happened on campus recently, let's head over to Will for our sports update.
Thanks, Miranda. Today in sports, let's start with the NFL. The Chicago Bears have decided to release kicker Cody Parkey after only one season with the team, after missing a potential game-tying 43-yard field goal against the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round of the playoffs. The Bears decided to end their 4-year deal early with Parkey. In other news around the NFL Combine will take place starting today and will continue on throughout the weekend. Finally, over in the CFL, the Montreal Alouettes have released Johnny Manziel, and it was noted that any team who would attempt to sign him would be vetoed by the league. In the NBA, there's no question that the Lakers have been bothered by distractions throughout their team since the trade deadline, and it has definitely shown who they are as a team right now. Having endured bitter losses, including to the New Orleans Pelicans, who were without Anthony Davis, and to the Memphis Grizzlies on Monday. Tuesday, we saw a Raptors victory against the Boston Celtics, the Denver Nuggets won against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and finally, the Knicks have been winning games after snapping their 18-game home losing streak on Sunday by beating the Spurs, and on Tuesday by beating the Magic. Over to the NHL, where the Chicago Blackhawks lost Sunday, which seriously hindered their playoff chances. The team hopes to improve their chances to make the playoffs with their number one goaltender Corey Crawford coming back after being out for over 2 months due to a concussion. MLB spring training is underway as of last week, which means opening day is about a month away. In other MLB headlines, on Tuesday, Nolan Arenado signed the biggest contract based on a per-year basis. Arenado signed an extension with the Colorado Rockies for eight more years at $255 million. And in the Bryce Harper sweepstakes, the decision supposedly is narrowed down to the Nationals, Giants, Dodgers, and Phillies. For Highland Athletics, men's basketball came out with another impressive win against Malcolm X last Saturday with a final score of 90-58. The team will travel to Joliet this weekend for the NJCAA regional tournament. Women's basketball also had a great turnout against Malcolm X, winning 79-25. Be sure to congratulate both teams and support your men and lady Cougars. Now we go to see what's on the menu this week.
From the Highland Arts Cafe, here is what's on the menu for the week of March 4th through March 7th. On Monday, March 4th, the special is brats and curly fries, and the soup of the day is cheesy broccoli. For Tuesday, March 5th, you can get an Asian chicken salad and a breadstick with chicken dumpling soup. Wednesday, March 6th, the special is a grilled turkey and cheese sandwich on a pretzel bun with a side of macaroni and cheese. The soup is cream of potato. And Thursday, March 7th, get a chicken strip basket for $4.50 with the soup of the day, tomato Florentine. As always, grill items are available on request every day and breakfast is served all day. The Highland Arts Cafe is open from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday on the first floor of Building H.
Now we look at community news. Illinois college enrollment has steadily declined over the past 10 years, according to news report from Illinois College and Education Boards. Highland enrollment itself has gone down 27% since 2008. While Illinois community colleges as a whole have seen enrollment drop by about 75,000 students, public universities in Illinois saw a 10% drop over the past decade. Highland President Tim Hood says two factors contributing to this are the shrinking Illinois population and the declining sizes of high school graduating classes, though Highland is seeing enrollment increases in lifelong learning classes and some degree and certificate programs.
Governor Pritzker's minimum wage plan has gone through, with the Illinois House and Senate recently passing a bill to raise the state minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2025. Representative Will Guzzardi of Chicago said the raise will not have a net negative impact. Our own 89th District State Representative Andrew Chesney says it will lead to job losses and that, quote, no wage will be high enough if the jobs are siphoned over our borders, unquote. While the raise will benefit many current minimum wage workers, many businesses and universities say they will face funding issues to accommodate it. In related news, Chesney announced his appointment to various House committees. They include Agriculture and Conservation, Human Services Appropriations, Cities and Villages, Mental Health, Judiciary Civil, and Economic Opportunity and Equity.
A Rockford man wanted for other crimes was arrested on Friday last week after allegedly threatening teens on a school bus with a BB gun. A fight between two girls had caused the bus to stop at the Auburn and North Church Streets around 5:30 p.m., where 36-year-old Oscar Morano threatened them. Morano was charged with assault, resisting a police officer, and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. He was previously charged with domestic battery in an unrelated case.
The Union Dairy in downtown Freeport is now open for the 2019 season. Their grand reopening is today from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can also go to Union Dairy this Sunday, March 3rd, from 1 to 4 p.m. for their opening special, which is a buy one, get one free single dip cone.
Ogle County has had many traffic accidents over the past few weeks. On February 18th, sheriff deputies responded to a multi-vehicle accident on I-39. On the same highway on the 20th, deputies responded to more crashes and pulled multiple vehicles out of the ditch. Last Saturday night, Pines Road at Devil's Backbone in Ogle County was closed due to a train derailment. The office continues to advise that everyone exercises caution when traveling.
If you enjoy a Friday fish dinner, head out to Joe Daviess County next week. On March 8th, from 5 to 8:30 p.m., Scales Mound will be holding its annual fish fry at its town hall. The proceeds support the Scales Mound Recreation Association, which provides sports, playground, and park equipment for the town.
State Line Area Crime Stoppers is holding a scam scheme and identity theft presentation on Tuesday, March 5th at the Freeport Public Library. Detective Lieutenant Andy Schroeder of the Freeport Police Department will be in attendance, where you can learn how to avoid being a victim of financial crime. The presentation begins at 6 p.m. For more information, you can call 815-235-8290 or RSVP by email to statelineareacrimestoppers@gmail.com.
Prepare for spring with a painting night hosted by Foster Art Gallery in Freeport on March 15th. The seats fill fast, so buy your tickets ahead of time through Eventbrite, found on the Art Gallery's Facebook page. The Spring is Coming Paint and Pour event, led by artist and gallery owner Diego Fossler, will have you create a custom spring-inspired canvas. Food and drinks will be provided, and people under 21 can attend with an adult.
A new independent film, Screw City, will soon begin production in Rockford. The movie is about a teenager trying to form a band as he and his friends graduate from a Rockford high school. Producers Chris Pratola and Joseletta Saldara say the final details are being set before some of the filming takes place in Rockford. At that time, they will hold an open casting call, potentially adding even more locals to the project.
Now we go to Melanie Brown for our weather outlook.
Thanks, Jenna. This past week has been a roller coaster. It started on Monday when Stevenson County was in a flood warning with rain and thunder forecasted throughout the day. The week continued to change as we ran into some very cold temperatures on Tuesday and Wednesday. However, next week looks like it will be much better for Stevenson County and its surrounding counties. Stevenson County can expect weekend temperatures to dip slightly with a high of 27 on Saturday and a low of 4. On Sunday, we can expect a high of 12 with a low of -11. The week follows the cold until Wednesday when we start to see a break in the cold and wind with a high of 20 and a low of 11. On Thursday, we can expect a high of 27 and a low of 14. On Friday, we see a high of 32 with a low of 16. Ogle County is slightly better for this weekend, with Saturday looking at a high of 29 and a low of 9, and Sunday we see a high of 14 and a low of -6. Throughout the week, it's also cold until Thursday when we see temperatures rise above 30 consistently with a high of 30 on Thursday and 33 on Friday into the weekend. Residents of Carroll County can stay bundled up as it is still looking cold throughout the weekend and into next week. Saturday is expected to be a high of 24 and a low of 3. Sunday follows the trend with a high of 13 and a low of -10. It does not get better as the week goes on, with temperatures predicted to stay low at 5 degrees and a high for Monday with a low of -6, 10 for a high on Tuesday with a low of 0. And finally 12 for the expected high on Wednesday with a low of 9 degrees. Joe Daviess County is looking about the same throughout the weekend and into next week. Residents can expect to see 28 as a high and 4 as the low for Saturday. On Sunday, we see a high of 13 and a low of -11. The week continues with low temperatures on Monday, and the high is expected to be 6 with a low of -6. Tuesday, we can see a high of 12 with a low of 0 degrees. Temperatures slightly will rise with 28 and 32 as the highs for Wednesday and Thursday. I'm Melanie Brown, and thank you for tuning in to see your weather updates for the counties of Northwest Illinois. Be sure to tune in next week as I'll keep you updated on your weather.
Thanks, Melanie. Now to upcoming events that are on campus.
That's right. A lot of events are happening very soon.
The James Adam Festival is just around the corner. The event has 3 different one-act plays that should range about 10 minutes each that will be performed on Thursday, March 7th, Friday, March 8th, and finally Saturday, March 9th, all at 7:30. Some of these plays are actually to be performed for the first time ever on stage. The playwrights and Highlands actors are both very excited for the opportunity. Tickets are $10 for adults, $8 for seniors, and $6 for students. You can buy your tickets now by calling 815-599-3718 or visit Highland's website. There are also rumors that the musical for Somerset may be announced at one of the performances. So theater kids, keep your ears open. For more information on the event, be sure to email Laura Watson at highland.edu.
The Spring Fling is also coming up very soon. Student Senate invites you to this dance, hosted by Highland Community College's Pride Club. The dance takes place on Friday, March 8th at 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. in the cafeteria. There will be plenty of food, music, and room to dance. Tickets can be purchased in advance for $3 from either the Pride Club or Student Senate members. However, if you forget, don't worry. Tickets will be just $5 at the door. We hope to see you there.
Moonlight Serenade is also on its way and will be held on March 2nd at 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. The evening will include the performances from both the Freeport High School Jazz Band and Highlands Big Band. This is the 16th annual Moonlight Serenade. The event is to be held at the Masonic Temple Ballroom at 305 West Stevenson Street, Freeport, Illinois. Appetizers and drinks will also be served. Tickets are $7.50 and are available to purchase in advance at the Highland Community Box Office Monday through Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. in the Ferguson Fine Arts Building on campus. If you're looking for a place to go with a smooth and jazzy beat, then this is the event for you.
Exciting news that Joe Daviess County Transit will now be transporting rides for Highland students to campus. Rider cards are available for purchase at the J. Rosemary Shockey bookstore. The punch card costs $10, and a one-way ride is $1. Rides are taken on request and must be scheduled at least 24 hours in advance, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. The number for the vehicle is 815-777-8088.
Recently, an email was sent out by Barb Statfield, the coordinator of Disability Services, containing a survey to help express the thoughts for how obtainable and functionable the college is towards disabled students. The survey is open to all students, and they would love for you to fill it out. Surveys are due by March 8th of 2019. The survey should take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. As an extra incentive, each student who fills out the survey is entered in a drawing for a chance of a $50 gift card from Highlands Bookstore.
Well, that's all we have for upcoming events this week. Now let's head over to an interview with Tim Hood, the president of Highland Community College.
Tim Hood has been at Highland for 8 years now and explains how he has worked his way up to becoming the president here.
I came here a little over 8 years ago as the Vice President of Academic Services, or Chief Academic Officer, and was here about 4 years, and I knew that our former President and President Emeritus, Dr. Joe Konoski, would be retiring, and the board and others here began to talk with me more and more about the possibility of me being considered for that role.
As we kept talking, He went on to further explain what a typical day for him looks like at Highland.
I try and reserve most of that for discussions and meetings with our faculty and staff and with our external partners. I generally have an average of half a dozen to as many as 10 meetings per day, and lots of individual persons coming by and talking with me, and me going out to visit them in their offices, and not just on campus. A lot of this work is with our external partners and colleagues as well.
Finally, he explains part of the process he took, schooling-wise, into becoming the person that he is today.
My bachelor's degree was in public relations with a minor in journalism, and I enjoyed that a great deal. Then I went back into business. I was actually working for a business. That's how I put myself through college. And the goal was to go out into the business world and use more of what I had learned to take that career to the next level. After about 4 to 5 years of running a pretty good-sized company, actually a collection of companies, I decided that I wanted to go back to college to get a master's degree in organizational communication.
Now we move on to national news. This Wednesday, President Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, North Korea's leader, met in the Vietnamese capital, Hanoi, for a summit meeting. The Prime Minister of Korea generously provides this space as a meeting for the two leaders, and the press and states that Vietnam will spare no effort to host a successful summit and believe deeply in contributing towards peace.
Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation on alleged interference in the 2016 presidential election is nearly complete. This report is to cover whether or not Russia meddled with the American voting system in some way to help the Trump campaign. There is debate on whether this report should be released to the public or remain confidential.
The 91st Academy Awards was held this past Sunday, the 24th, at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles at 7 p.m. Even without a host, the show flowed well. The Best Picture was awarded to Green Book. Black Panther won the Best Original Music Score. Best Sound Mixing was awarded to Bohemian Rhapsody. Best Actor winner was Rami Malek, and Best Actress was awarded to Olivia Colman. The Best Animated Feature was awarded to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. For more info on the Oscars, go to oscar.go.com.
Last Friday, PETA, or the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, criticized Steve Irwin, the late crocodile hunter, on Twitter, accusing him of harassing animals, forcing them to perform, and taking babies from their mothers. This random tweet, negatively categorizing Irwin, was combated by Twitter users telling PETA that Irwin believed in nothing less than wildlife conservation, unlike PETA, which killed 70% of their rescued shelter dogs.
Jussie Smollett, actor in Empire, surrendered to Chicago police Thursday the 21st at around 5 a.m., admitting he made a false report. If convicted, he will face up to 3 years in prison and may have to pay for the cost of the investigation. That's all for this week. I'm Miranda Gakey.
And I'm Jenna Skarlupka. Join us next week for more Highland News Now.